just very excited to get an opportunity to play here at Wesleyan against Wesleyan, against this incredible crowd. And what a great game. I was telling the kids this has to be one of the most entertaining games, back and forth. Usually I'm not happy with giving up 42 points at halftime, but the nature of this game, back and forth, so I just think it was a great college women's basketball game.
Questions? Start with questions for the student athletes.
Bethany, when you came in about 2/3 of the way through the first half, I wonder if you could talk about, you had a really good run there that was a big part of an 11-1, 11-2 run. You scored about 7 points in there. Can you tell me what your mandate was and how you were so successful?
Well, I think just coming off the bench, it's always nice to think that you can be a spark and come in there and, give a little kick to everyone in the game. And we worked all week on a great game plan, and we just knew what we needed to execute and do, so it just worked in our favor, so we were able to do it.
And to think our game plan was to stop some of the three-point shooting.
How'd you adjust to that, Coach?
Well, early in the game, we were doubling down on, I think the emotion of a game, and that we started doubling their rebounds, and you can't do that because they'll run right back at you, and they started getting some open looks. So in a spirited timeout, I suggested that we do not do that anymore and try to get back and just, the goal is when a team is shooting like that, all you can ask your kids is put a hand in their face and then live with it. I mean, that shot hit at the end of the game, pat her on the back. That was an incredible shot. That's the nature of these type of games. So that was our adjustment, and we had some game plans of switching out on some stuff. As you could see at the end, we had to pick our poison because they were shooting on the outside. If we went inside, they went in. So as you could see the strategy going back and forth.
Alex and Bethany, you guys, those points, you only turned the ball over 8 times as a team after I think 30 turnovers against them earlier in the season. How did you adjust and really, cut down, beat the press, and not turn the ball over?
All week in practice, we've been going 6-on-5, and we've really been focusing on taking care of the ball. And so, Illinois Wesleyan is a great pressing team, and so we just really wanted to focus on being aggressive and, not worrying if you do have a turnover.
I completely agree with that. Going 6-on-5, definitely, once we went 5-on-5, it opened up the court. And we watched film last night, and it was just nice to be able to see the open spots. And I think we've decided, just keep our dribble as long as we need to, and eventually a pass will open up. So.
Catherine, when they made the run at you in the second half, a lot of teams, with maybe not fold, but have some problems adjusting to that, but you all just seem to get a key basket whenever you need it. The Zix's experience of being in the Final Four now a couple of seasons, and for longer for some of the seniors like yourself, that experience obviously, I guess, pays off because you were not, you were unflappable, even with that run that they made in the second half.
I mean, Coach always says the basketball is a game of runs, and so they're going to score, you're going to have your spurts of scoring. And a lot of what we have learned in the past from the Final Four tournaments is to keep a level head. And it's great because we have calm point guards who never turn the ball over and can get the ball off the court. And it does come with experience. I do find myself to be a lot more focused this year than I have been in the past. That could be also being a senior. Yeah.
And how much fun is it to have players like Bethany and Jenny and Bree and Claire have a nice stake in this run that you all have made? It's been fun to watch those players get, when they had the chance, they got their own little stake in the success because they've come up and played very well in this tournament. Anybody want to comment on that, because it's been one of the fun things to watch?
I mean, I think it's great because we all support each other, and that's what you got to hope for in practice. Every day we push each other as hard as we can. So when you go into the games, these moments, you know how to act and react, and it's great that they step up in that way.
Nancy, can you talk about your bench play tonight? Outscored them 25-11. Bree had some huge buckets, along with Bethany in the first half.
I think at this time of year, what's been happening and why we're sitting where we're sitting is, if you look at this run, there's been somebody that's just done some things that they get to, coming off the bench, you need those things. And I can claim all of those kids and the kids that maybe didn't get, like they said, in the game tonight. You got an emotional leader like a Monica Monson that is a senior that I can't tell you, they run down, we have this thing where you have to hit a tee all the time for our team. She makes everybody, when we run down the hall, hit all the tees, you know, and you have your senior anchoring you like that, so it makes you feel good, and I'm very happy, but those guys really have stepped up in a lot of different ways.
Randy?
Catherine, what was the key to the early part of the second half? It seemed like they're just getting some really good shots and pretty much making all of them at that point.
I really think that we were playing our game, our style, and when we take control in that manner, it's less phasing. You know how to focus and take your shots, and you know what is your shot instead of being rushed. So we really played our tempo.
Alex, I wonder if you could comment on what Catherine said before about how much experience in being here before plays a role in a game like tonight, because it was pretty close for a good portion of it.
Yeah, not only the experience from last year, but just the experience from the first 2 rounds. You know, being at Thomas More, being at Hope with the full stadiums, you just are able, I think, to not let the emotion get a hold of you, and so it's a lot easier to keep your composure. You know, when the other team's go on runs, you know, hey, you know, let's just get a bucket here, and you don't panic.
Yes.
Talk about 20 points from the free throw line. How are you guys getting those fouls and going from there?
One of our emphasis was put the ball on the floor today. We felt they do a lot of switching man, and sometimes, and also when they're in their press, when they extend, you get an opportunity sometimes to have an open court. So instead of pulling back and kind of letting them settle back in, I thought these guys did a really good job of just keep attacking. And then what we were doing at the end, we were running some clock, and again, they had some kids in foul trouble, so then we just flattened it out and took our shot at putting the ball on the floor. But that was something we kind of noticed, that if you just got to get past that first line of pressure. If you get past that first line of pressure, you have probably an advantage. So we were trying to take that if we had a chance. Getting past that first line of pressure is an operative word.
Anything else for coach and the student athletes?
Just Amherst, you guys beat them one time last year. How do you feel about going against them? I mean, you guys have.
We're so excited because we get to play in the national championship. So it's Amherst. I'm sure they're like going, there's WashU, but hey, we're playing. So that's how I feel about you guys.
Yep.
I think they're okay with that.
Same.